Here we have a Cobra 148 GTL. It turns on, but that's about all it does. And I'm going to be restoring this radio. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this from a 5-pin plug to a 4-pin plug. Now I know that's not practical and I could just get a different mic plug for my microphones, but I think it's kind of fun to do something like this, and it'll be easier to swap out microphones in between my other radios, since my other radios mostly use 4 pins. Now unfortunately this isn't as easy as just switching these out and soldering the wires on the new plug. Each of these little boards here has its own little circuit, and they're different on both of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rebuild the circuit that's on this one and build it on a piece of perf board and solder it directly to the incoming pins of the 4-pin plug, and that should work. Here I've unpopulated the board of the 4-pin plug, since we're not going to be using any of those parts anyway. Now here's the 5-pin plug out of the radio, and here's a quick schematic of how everything is hooked up on this little board. And all I have to do is take out all the parts of this 5-pin plug and recreate the circuit on this perf board. Here's the completed product, 4-pin plug and the circuit built onto this perf board. And I transplanted this choke here that was originally on the circuit board just because the leads on it were so short, and now it'll be connected to the perf board via this lead. And so everything that's left to do now is hook it up to all the connections on the radio, and we'll try it out. Here's the little module all wired up into the radio, and time for the test run. I've got the radio powered on, and as you can hear, it's picking up static, which means it's in receive mode. However, it's not really picking anything up when I transmit into it using another radio, which is weird, and it's also not transmitting anything. And I've looked over my wiring job for this adaptation over and over and over again, and everything seems to be in order. So I think the problem lies in something else, which I still have to investigate. But at least I've got the radio partially alive and partially working, and I'll go ahead and do some more work in it and see what happens.